Hello friends, I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. Thanks for stopping by. You know what, when I ask you how you're doing, that's not a rhetorical question, right? Like, I'm genuinely curious. I really like to know how the people who find my videos and watch my videos, I like to know how you're doing. Like, we check in on each other, right? You're here because you want to check in on me. I like hearing about you because despite despite doing this for 7 years, I don't necessarily like things being about me. Anyway, another video up on the gaming channel. That was a lot. First of all, the video, I'm really, I don't want to say I'm proud of it. I'm happy with it. It has allowed me to lean into some of my goofiness and some of my silliness in a way that I did not expect. And I've received feedback from people about the goofiness and the silliness being a really appreciated part of it. So I don't want to say I went extra in this one, but I definitely did. But I think I have reached the limits of, I use a program called Shotcut. It's a free and open source video editor. I think I've hit the limits of that program. Near the end of the editing, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cuts and splices and effects, it really starts to get crashy. Like, it crashes every time I try to move something around. Every time I try to make it, whatever, it would just crash. So it was like, make one edit safe, because I could not afford, it would crash and then, whatever. So that was a lot. And I got it done. I got the editing done today because I've been up since 3:30 this morning. My dad had a procedure today, a surgical procedure. My mom asked me to take him. She came too, but she doesn't handle those kind of situations all that well. So the hospital called yesterday and said, be here by 5 a.m. And it's like a 40-minute drive. So I got up at 3:30 this morning and I'm exhausted. But I took the laptop with me to the hospital and worked there because I really couldn't do much else, which was good. It was because if you haven't gone to watch the video, go watch the video. There is a surprising amount of, I think it ended up being around 15 minutes-ish. There was probably 20 minutes of content, so I had to cut 5 minutes out of the video, which when I'm talking, I would hope that over the years you have recognized that I tend to get distracted by myself. I'll say something, and then I'll get distracted by a thought, and then I'll go on that path for a while. When I'm doing these game videos, it's the exact same thing. Like, I don't have a script, I don't have a checklist, so I'm just, let's roll. And what I'll find is, oh, here's a 30 or 40 second piece where I re-explained something that I explained earlier, and I completely forgot that I explained it. So so there is a decent amount of, number one, just cutting it to make sense. Like, I've had to move pieces around and go, all right, well, this piece actually fits better over here because I'm explaining this part, and then I'll explain that part. So doing that kind of stuff, that's the first kind of rough, just cut out all the fat, cut out all the cut out. There are times when you're trying to talk to camera and things just don't work, or I say something stupid and then I curse at myself, and so, I'll just take a long pause, so I'll cut all that stuff out. That ended up being about 5.5 minutes of stuff. And then it is going through and removing all of the breaths. Not all of them. If you remove all of the breaths, it doesn't sound right. Like, this person doesn't breathe. So here, I can breathe and get away with it because this microphone isn't nearly as sensitive as a lapel mic sitting on my chest. When I breathe with that lapel mic, you can really hear it. And so I cut out a whole bunch of breaths. I cut out ums. I cut out pauses. I condense cut pieces. So there's hundreds and hundreds of those edits. Then after that's done, I have to edit the 2 cameras. So I've got all of this information on 2 different timelines plus audio, and then I have to say, all right, I want to cut to this camera and, cut to this camera, cut back and forth. Then it comes time to put in all the fun stuff, all the little titles that I sprinkle around the screens, all the little hidden information, the silly little cartoon inserts and whatever. And then I watch it again and make sure that everything is in place the way it's supposed to be. Then, for some reason, I decided to do something very silly. If you're watching the upper corner on the video, it'll be obvious what I'm doing. But I'll leave it up to you. And that took forever because I had to watch the video again and hit pause and insert sound effect, insert the thing, edit the, So it was a nightmare, but it was really fun. And I think if I don't know that I could keep up this pace of 1 a week. Because it is a lot. And I really need to focus on my day job more. I mean, I focus on my day job, but I could give more. My side job, I don't want to say I've abandoned it, but my personal life has been so freaking busy that I haven't had time for it. I just haven't. And, I've had to talk with the product owner and just be like, listen, I don't have time for this right now. Like, what do we do? And so he's been checking in with me every week and I'm putting in as, 2 hours a week or whatever I can. So trying to find time to edit these videos. If it wasn't for the hospital today, I wouldn't have got the video out, probably not even this week. It would have been like next week or something. So the good news about editing, though, is I can do it in tiny chunks. So I could, what I should do and what I might do. So tonight, Malia won't be here. I might try to shoot next week's video, and then I can edit it in like 10 minutes. Put 10 minutes in, cut pieces. I can do that over the course of the next week and be prepared. I think that's probably what I should do. Now, will it happen? I don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, back. So there was one of those tangents. Back from the hospital. Everything's okay. I'm exhausted. I haven't slept. I probably should nap. But if I do that, I'm afraid that I won't fall asleep. So I think I'm just going to stay up until it's time to go to bed. But yeah, go check out the video. Proud of it. Hopefully this little behind the whatever, telling you how I do things is interesting. Got any questions, any comments, anything you want to talk about? Let me know down below. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is sacrosanct. It is an adjective meaning beyond criticism because it is considered sacred. If men could get pregnant, maternity benefits would also be sacrosanct as the GI Bill. Letty Cotton Pogrebin, an American editor and writer. Sacrosanct. Sacrosanct. Yeah, I mean, she's right. It's kind of bullshit how much we don't. Well, you get it.